What is going on, guys? AJ Bodie here, back with another video. Today we are at 111 subscribers, so we've slowed down from our usual 100 subscriber a week. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I just found out that you don't actually get watch hours from shorts. At least that's what I've been told. So, what the fuck? I've just been uploading shorts of cat videos and cat pictures and stuff, telling you guys to subscribe. And if you're here from the shorts and you're thinking to yourself, when did I subscribe to this guy? If you've ever subscribed via a short with a cat in it or something, that's probably me, AJ Bodie. So don't unsubscribe unless you don't want to hear about me complaining, talking about how I've been betrayed before, talking about how sad I am, talking about how to grow muscle and why I didn't. If you don't want to hear any of that, then you can unsubscribe. But if you do, and you actually like my personality and my character in this channel, hit the subscribe button, because we are actually nearing 1,000 subscribers. We're like 200, not even 200, we're like 188 subscribers away, 189 subscribers away from 1,000 subs. I can't monetize though until I get 4,000 hours of watch time, which is crazy because I don't have enough watch time. Anyways, let's get into the video. Today, I want to talk about how somebody can string you along, and in my own personal opinion, why it's a bad idea on both ends, and how I got strung along, and how I string people along, or strung people along. And let's just get into it. But before we do, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, and comment. All right, let's get into it. Now, being strung along is a terrible feeling. You don't know that you're being strung along until it's too late. And then at that point, you're like, fuck. I'm not talking about people had interest in you and then they don't. I'm talking about you've been being strung along since the start of whatever relationship that you had with this other person that's stringing you along, right? So I had this story time here. I had this coworker that I had a crush on, and I would always pass by her. I used to be a cashier, and I was 16 at the time. And this woman was, at the time, let's see, she's 28 right now, and I'm 20. So, I don't know. I want to say she was 24 at the time, and I was 16. So, wait, 23. She was 23 at the time, and I was 16, right? So I had a crush on her, and we played Apex this one time. I asked her, hey, let's play Apex. She said, okay. And we were friends, right? And I didn't really talk to her that much. But one day when I was 18, fast forward 2 years, 19 years old, I asked her, I said, hey, let's go rock climbing, right? And she was like, okay. And at this point, we've built up enough coworker friendship to actually, to be like knowing each other and stuff. So it's not a total stranger asking you out. I said, hey, let's go rock climbing. She said, okay. And so we go rock climbing, right? And we're talking and everything. And I put my arm around her it's kind of implied that I'm flirting with her, right? And at the time, I didn't know that doesn't really work. You should just flat out tell a girl that you like her, or that you're interested, not that you like her, but just that you're interested. And she should have known that I was flirting with her. I put my arm around her, right? And I'm talking to her. And she's not giving me any signs. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, what now? Date ends, nothing happens. I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'll try again. Second date, nothing happens. Okay. Third date, we go on a hike. It's a long hike. And we're just talking. You know, I'm really, really trying to flirt with her now. So I'm like kind of just flirting with her the way that I flirt with her. And I thought it was working. I said, you know what? Let me give you a shoulder back, which is a higher than a piggyback, right? It's basically just holding someone on your shoulders. So I'm like walking with her. Everything's great, right? I broke the touch barrier, everything like that. Nothing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? She's giving me somewhat of signs, but not signs at all at the same time. She's hot and she's cold. So I'm like, what's going on here? So finally, I'm just like, you know what? I'm like, you know what? Let me just fucking kiss her, right? So I turn around and I give her a little smooch, right? On the fucking, on the lips, right? When I tell you, and no disrespect to this girl here, but she had the fucking hardest ass lips I've ever felt in my entire life. It was probably from her jogging and hiking with me for like 2-3 hours. And I'm like, I don't feel anything. I have no connection towards this person, but I still want to hit, right? Oh, there's a helicopter going by. Y'all hit the like button and subscribe. So anyways, I give her a little kiss and I'm like, man, she's got some hard ass lips, right? And she's like, oh. I'm like, yeah. So we keep on walking and nothing happens there either. Okay. So then I asked her, I was like, hey, how would you rate our kiss? Next time we hung out, I was like, how would you rate our kiss? And she was like, yeah, it's good. I was like, so I need to ask you something. She was like, okay. I was like, so do you want to fuck? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, so when do you want to do it? And she was like, next date. So the next date comes around and I take her ice skating. Of course, we don't get to go ice skating because the fucking ice skating schedule these days are terrible. Like, you can never get an ice skating spot on Tuesdays or whatever the fuck the schedule was at the time. And it was just garbage. So I was like, okay, we can't go ice skating today. She was like, that's fine. So we just hung out and we explored abandoned buildings, right? And I was like, this is cool. Everything's going great. I'm feeling the vibe. She's feeling the vibe. And I wore such a shirt that is provocative, right? Like I wore like a muscle shirt. So that should have got her going. And I put cologne on, right? Everything's great. So I'm like, so? She's like, what? I'm like, so do you want to fuck? We get back to the car and I'm like, do you want to fuck? And she's like, no, you don't have a condom. I'm like, I got a condom. She's like, oh, you got a condom? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, yeah. She's like, well, that shirt isn't really doing it for me. And I'm like, I know. She's like, okay, well, next time, though. I'm like, okay, next time. So then we go to the gym, thinking to myself, okay, this girl probably likes me. She's just really shy. She pulls up to the gym, and she smells terrible. And now I'm thinking to myself, she doesn't care about me. And I'm like, fuck. So then I'm like, okay. So I'm like, so do you want to fuck or not? And she's like, we get back to the car, we're in the car, and she's like fucking smoking weed. And I'm like, do you want... And by the way, I wasn't smoking it, just her. And I was like, do you want to fuck? And she was like, no. I was like, why? She was like, oh, your body is sacred. I don't just fuck anybody. And it was just like, you were literally telling me how you let a whole bunch of guys clap your cheeks when you were on Tinder. What the fuck are you talking about? That's what I was thinking, right? And I was like, okay, well, fine. So I got a little bit mad, and I was like, fuck you, right? And we were just like, fuck you, well, fuck you. And I was like, why I gotta go? And she was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, fuck you, right? And then I was just like, well, this is stupid, right? Because I gave her the hints. I asked her, she said yes. She agreed. And then she backed out at the last second. But she kept on stringing me along, telling me that she would do it next time, next time, next time. If a girl doesn't do it in the first 3 dates, she doesn't want to do it with you. Or she's saving herself. In this case, that's not the case, because this woman was very promiscuous. This woman slept with a bunch of guys, and her body was not a temple to her. She literally hoed around, so it doesn't matter. So now I'm thinking to myself, wow, I really got didn't I? So I was like, okay, let me just be friends with her, because you know what? She probably doesn't have a lot of sex, and she's probably not a hoe. Maybe she was just saying that so she could attract me, right? So I'm like, let's just be friends. And I remember everything, right? She doesn't remember shit, because her memory's shot, because she had so much weed. You know, she masturbates a lot and all of that. So I'm like, okay, no disrespect to her, but there's just honesty, right? I'm like, okay, so we're just friends now. So we're friends, we're being friends, we're hanging out as friends, and I'm thinking to myself, she also told me that she wanted to be celibate, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. 3-4 months go by, we're hanging out, and she goes, yeah, fuck this dude. It's late at night, and she goes, yeah, I slept with this dude. I'm like, you slept with this dude? She's like, yeah, I don't know, he was kind of cool, so I slept with him, and then it was just like a friends with benefits thing, but I don't know. I'm like, so wait, hold on. I'm thinking to myself, you're telling me that you didn't sleep with me, but you slept with him. So now I feel so rejected, so hurt, so much in pain, and I'm trying not to lash out at her. I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about him. I'm just like, so let me get this straight. You friend zoned me, strung me along, but you fucked some. I was like, where'd you meet this dude? She was like, yeah, I just met him at a Dollar Tree. And I was like, a fucking Dollar Tree? Are you fucking kidding me, mate? Bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. Fuck her. I was like, yeah. I was like, 2 hours later, I was like, yeah, actually, I gotta go. I was like, man, I'm such a bitch. Later, a few months later, after she said that she was so-called celibate, she's telling me, yeah, this guy, there's this other dude he works in a warehouse, and, you know, I fucked him, and, you know, he told me that he loved me, and, you know, I'm just not feeling it. You know, that kind of turned me off. Bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, no, I was like thinking to myself, what the fuck is wrong with me? Having these friends that don't fucking care about me. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be friends with this person anymore because she's an asshole. So I'm thinking to myself, the whole time, I didn't want to be her friend, I just wanted to fuck her. And I'm thinking, what does she bring? So later that night, I was just thinking to myself, what does she bring to the table? Nothing, fucking nothing. So I'm like, okay. So I hang out with her one more time because my self-esteem is so low. My self-worth is so low, right? So I go hang out with her, and she tells me that she's a lesbian, right? She says, oh, I only want girls now. And before she told me that, I already predicted that. I called her gay, and then her name followed in my contact list. predictions. I did that. Like the video for my prediction-ness. So anyway, I'm thinking to myself, why did I put myself through this? What was the point of all of this? What the fuck is wrong with me? Like, not even what's wrong with her. That's just a woman nature right there. What the fuck is wrong with me? She literally told me that now she's a lesbian and she doesn't know what the fuck she wants. So I'm literally like, okay, you know what? Let me blame it on her being lesbian. That's why she didn't want me, right? How many fucking lies am I gonna go through before I realize that I was being so fucking stupid? She just didn't want me. And I should have known. Not all women are gonna want you, right? Some women are gonna string you along exponentially. Some women are gonna string you along forever. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, talk to me about this, who you like because you're lesbian now. She's like, oh, well, I like this coworker right here. I'm like, oh, that coworker right there. She's like, yeah, that coworker right there. I'm like, okay. And by the way, this is like a year ago. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So then we're about to leave, right? And she's like, oh, I want to ask her out, but I don't know how. So I talked to her about how to ask her out. Now, fast forward 4 or 5 months, right? Find out that the girl that she wants to ask out is leaving. So I try to play Cupid, right? I say, you should go ask her out. She doesn't have the balls to do it. She confesses to her that she really likes her, and that's why she's been unbearable to be with or to work with, right? And I'm like, why would you say that? Why not just ask her out? And she's like, I don't know, I just kind of freaked out. And I'm just like, I'm losing so much respect for her. As I gain respect for myself, I'm losing respect for her. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, you know what? I'm a nice guy. I really am. I'm a kind guy. I'm a kind and a nice guy. I'm also becoming an asshole, right? So I'm like, I'm going to help her one last time. I talked to the girl that she wants to ask out, and I'm like, so what's up with you and, let's just call her Gay, and then her last name. Let's just call her Cody, right? So Cody, not even Cody, let's not call her Cody. Let's call her Nicole. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's call her Nicole. So Nicole was like, hey, I can't ask her out. I don't know, I just can't do it. So I was like, okay, let me talk to the girl that you want to ask out. So I talked to the girl that's about to leave in like a week or so, right? And I'm like, so what's up with you and Nicole, right? And she's like, I don't know, like, where did that come from? I'm like, what do you mean? Because I can't say anything. So I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you know what I mean. What is up with that? And I'm like, you should probably go and ask her. And she was like, no, I don't want to ask her. And I was like, okay, well, do you want to give her a chance at all? And she was like, yeah, I definitely would. She was like, I thought that my feelings weren't reciprocated. And I was like, so you like her and she likes you, what is the problem here? She's like, I don't know, I don't want to ask her either. And I was like, okay, so if I go talk to her and she goes to ask you out, would you accept? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, good, cool. And she's like, well, why don't you go ask her? I'm like, bitch, don't even fucking start. I'm gonna go help her now because I'm a cuck. So I go over to her and I'm like, hey, I asked her out for you. And she was like, why the fuck would you do that? And I'm like, shut up. Now you gotta go ask her out. She's like, first of all, thank you so much for talking to her, right? And I'm like, yeah, you're welcome. Just don't fuck this up, right? She's like, okay, I won't. She's like, oh, where do I ask her out? I'm like, just ask her out anywhere. It doesn't fucking matter. So I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I'm okay with being a friend. She was just lesbian. Then I switch up again. And I'm like, you know what? This person doesn't want to talk to me at all. I'm just being her friend. She's not being my friend. So let me just not talk to her. She gets on a date with this girl. Everything's going well. They go on a whole hike together, long hour, couple hour trip to the hiking spot, right? Everything's going well. That's the last I heard from her. Now, I'm in a relationship with my girlfriend, and I'm in Florida, Miami to be specific, at a hotel, and when I'm with my girl, she calls, and I'm like, fuck. You have to fucking call at the most inconvenient time. And now that I think about it, This girl that I was interested in, the gay one, she has only brought me chaos and pain, right? I hurt my arm because I was trying to impress her. I spent money on her when I shouldn't have. I lost out on a deal, and I also lost out on another girl because I was hanging out with her. Now, all of these things were my fault. I am the only one to blame because I entertained it, which is my fault. But it goes to show that if you entertain a woman that is not interested in your best interest, you can fuck up your entire life. I'm telling you right now, do not entertain that shit. If somebody isn't interested in you and they're not helping you, move on. Even if it's just a platonic relationship or anything like that, move on. Romantic relationship, move on. So cut back to it, right? And she's calling and I'm like, fuck me. Why are you calling at the most inconvenient time? Nothing bad happened at the end of that, okay? She calls, everything's fine. I don't pick up. She calls again and I don't pick up. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to talk to her anymore. I'm just going to decide not to talk to her anymore. So fast forward maybe a month or two, and I'm like, hey, to the other coworker that she's friends with. I'm like, hey, I'm kind of friends with him too. I'm like, hey, how's everything going with her? And he's like, oh, you didn't hear? And I was like, no. He was like, yeah, dude, they broke up. And I'm like, what the fuck you mean they broke up? It hasn't even been like 2 or 3 months yet. And he's like, yeah, she did something really creepy. And I was like, huh? What did she do? And he was like, oh, you gotta go ask her. And I was like, bro, you fucking kidding me? So I text her and I'm like, we're not really on talking terms. Should I text her? And he's like, yeah, you should text her. Or he's like, that's up to you. And I'm like, I text her. I'm like, hey, is everything okay? What happened with the thing? And I was like, hey, why didn't you tell me? I heard what happened. And she was like, oh, well, you didn't call me, or you didn't text me, or you ignored my text, and you ignored my call, right? And I was like, you didn't even try to reach me. You only called twice. That's it. She didn't text me or anything. And I was like, okay, well, she was like, okay, well, like, sorry. And then she was like, can I call you? And I was like, yeah, sure. So then she goes on to tell me about how she fucked everything up, all the fucking months of planning the shit from her and me. And I'm thinking to myself, man, what a fucking loser. I have no respect for her now at all. And I'm thinking to myself, so what did you say? And she goes, I told her that I loved her. I'm like, you did what? How many months in? Only 2 months in. She's like, oh yeah, I love you. Shut the fuck up. No, you didn't. Why would you say that shit? And then she's like, I don't know. I just felt like it was right. And I was like, you literally told me how you got so turned off by a guy that told you that he loved you. And she was like, yeah, I know, but like, fucking pussy. I'm like, you know what? And I just start going off on her. I start telling her about how much of a bitch she is, how much of a fucking loser she is, how much of a fucking retard, how antisocial she is, how much skill she doesn't have, how depressed she is, where she's not going anywhere in life, how much of a friend she hasn't been to me, how she's shy and that's how she's ruining her life, that she has no future, and how she's never going to get into a relationship because of this. And I just tell her all that. And I also tell her, like, hey, you haven't been there for me when I needed you. And I've only been doing the initiating and not you. And she goes, I am so sorry. I didn't know that all you were feeling this way. I wasn't thinking. And then she tried to manipulate me again by being like, oh, it's my insecurity. And I'm like, no. And I read into her psychology. And I explained to her what she's doing. And she's like, oh my goodness, I didn't know you could do that. Like, I'm so sorry. I have no excuses now. I just feel really bad. I'm like, you don't feel bad. You don't fucking feel bad. I was your friend. You were not my friend. You don't feel bad. You don't give a fuck. You just want the attention. And she was like, I'm going to try. And I was like, I don't care. I was like, you can't do anything to try to actually save this friendship from me. And she was like, no, I'm going to try again. I'm going to actually put an effort. I'm like, yeah, you can try, but it's not gonna work. Like, I'm done. She's like, no, I'm gonna try. Please. I'll ask you to hang out. And I was like, shut up. And I was like, okay, I'm done. Seriously, I'm done. And I hung up, right? I was like, I gotta go. So I hung up and I was thinking, man, that was so mean. I shouldn't have said that. I feel bad. Should I call her back? And I'm like, no, I shouldn't. Fuck her. She's an idiot. She's a retard. And you know how there's like a stereotype on how women are stupid. Women aren't stupid. Women are fucking highly intelligent creatures. That manipulation, if I didn't read and watch so many videos on how to manipulate and understand manipulation, I would have bought right into that fucking manipulation tactic where she's like confessing that she was being disrespectful, and she apologized for it, but she doesn't care. She really does not care. And I can't really explain it because I'm not a master of manipulation and I'm not a master of understanding it myself, but I did research a lot on manipulation, and I do know the signs. So I can't explain it because I don't actually understand it fully. But anyway, she's texting me, right? She's like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like giving her a very dry text. I'm like, She's like, hey, you want to hang out on Saturday? I'm like, no, I can't. I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. She doesn't reply. Then finally I get back to work after 2 weeks, and she's like talking, or I'm talking to her friend, right? And she comes up to me and she's like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, so what happens with this? And she was like, yeah, I would tell you if you picked up my calls. And I was like, and I just didn't say anything. I was like, okay. So then that was it, man. And then she kept on coming up to me at work, and she was like, so you think I should be celibate again? And I was like, the fuck you mean again, bitch? Shut the fuck up. I don't give a shit. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't know, man. That's dumb. And I went from, hey, how's it going? Can we do that? To, I don't give a fuck. Like, you could just see the lifelessness in my eyes towards her. So now I'm thinking to myself, because I'm such a neurodivergent, right? Meaning I think about these things and then I look at my personality, aka depression. I look at my archetype, my personality, my persona, and I'm like, why am I doing all this? What does it matter? Like, I can't even be mad at her in the first place. It's just how she acts from years and years of her trauma. I'm like, whatever, doesn't matter. And then, one last thing. When I'm talking to her friend, that is also kind of my friend, they both are talking about the dude that wants to ask her out. I'm like, what dude? And she's like, yeah, the manager wants to ask me out. And, I just want to be friends with him. I'm not really looking for anything, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm like, what a bitch. What a fucking bitch. What a hoe. I am done with this shit, man. And I was just like, yeah, I gotta go back. Basically, in passing, I don't talk to her, but in passing, she'll ask me questions. I don't give a fuck. And I'm observing the manager and her are now talking a lot more. So I'm thinking to myself, yeah, he definitely wants to fuck her. And I'm thinking to myself, it's not worth it. So that's the story of how I got strung along for the past 2, 3 years, 4 years, right? And I really stopped caring once I got into a relationship, situationship number 2. And once I got into that, I really stopped caring about her because I realized that she was stringing me along. And it took me, I had to experience the fact that I was stringing the situationship number 2 girl along to realize that the girl that I was interested in was stringing me along. And I realized that you become your own villain, or you become the villain that you did not want to be. So now I'm thinking to myself, damn, I fucked up. And I also got fucked for all of it. So this whole past year that I've been trying to get over my situationship number 2, I found love, right? I found my cariño, which is Spanish for affectionate person, I guess. I don't know, I don't speak Spanish. My cariño gatita, which I really care about now. And I hope that I can move forward with her and keep building with her. But I don't know how long that's going to last for. But my point is, that girl does reciprocate my feelings. The girl that I was interested in did not whatsoever. And these types of women are just going to string you along. So if you feel like you're being strung along, if you're not getting sex within the first, if they're not Christian or religious and you're not getting sex in the next 3-4 dates, you need to move on. Okay? Do not get played. And do not play people. Do not mess with their emotions. Don't play with them. Be honest with them. If you're cheating on them, just be honest. Be like, hey, I'm cheating on you. So what? Okay? Don't cheat on them, though. It's not a good thing to do. Anyways, guys, that's the story of how I got strung along and how low self-respect, low self-esteem can affect your day-to-day dating life and how it can affect you overall. It's just one of many instances on how it affects me. But I'm slowly but surely becoming a better person, becoming more aware of some situations, saying no to people that just use you and all of that. And of course, that is going to only lead you into isolation, further isolation rather. And you can get out of it by making yourself better, improving yourself, and making better friends. So hope is not lost. All hope is not lost. You just need to make better choices by strategizing better. Building yourself up, getting the skills, getting the knowledge, learning how you can do certain things, having empathy and compassion for people, not putting them down, but bringing them up. But they only get 1 or 2 chances. That's it. Anyways, guys, because they will take advantage of that. They will take advantage of that. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe.